Yeah, but no, it's nice to work with the kids, because for an audience, you don't want to see, somebody who's 30 playing a 9-year-old playing Tiny Tim. You want to see those
That does happen from time to time. So yeah, it's great that you can bring in kids for the show as well.
And because they have that educational program here at the Norris, I think it's a very easy to bring them in, and boy, it's great. It helps add such depth to the show.
Now, I know that your road getting here was a little different. Your road in acting, you're not from here.
Right. Okay. I grew up in Louisiana, which is not known for, well, anything. But I went to college for theater in Arizona and got my degree, and then came out here after college.
No, it is known for the Saints, you know that, right?
The New Orleans Saints.
That's right.
Sure.
Okay.
And I like football fine. But yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm game for playing football. So
no, at least not right now. Well, you're busy anyway here at the Norris Theater.
Very busy getting ready to open A Christmas Carol in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Louisiana is also abbreviated L.A. too, isn't it? So it's you've lived you came to L.A. Now you're here in L.A.
Exactly.
Again. You've emerged from, and it's come full circle.
So, since we're in the holiday season, can you think back to a Christmas that you remember, something special or a special present that you got that will always sort of stick in your mind?
I'm a very thoughtful person, contrary to what people may say.
Okay.
But I was probably a teenager, 13 years old, and
no,
for
probably
Christmas,
he was a teenager, right? So we'll check with that later.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was, and my sister had a bike, and I guess her kickstand on her bike either broke or it never had one.
Okay.
And I thought, what a thoughtful thing. I would get her a kickstand for Christmas.
Sounds good.
For her bike. It's very practical. She did not think that was a good gift at all, and I will never, ever live that down.
So that is your fondest memory of Christmas growing up.
That's awful, I know, but yeah.
But you know what? That was a thoughtful present.
Yeah.
I'm sure she did appreciate it later, right?
No.
Never?
I don't think so. I'll have to ask her when I see her this Christmas,
Yeah, I
but
think
she'll probably bring it up and be like, so no kickstands, right?
Yeah. That's off the list because you've already gotten it. So,
True.
Yeah.
True. So I'm safe there.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about for you?
I can't remember a single. I did get presents, but I just can't remember a single one of them. But what I can remember were the fact that it was a family reunion. That we had relatives that would seemingly creep out of nowhere and show up, and some of them were wonderful and would give you little things like Beeman's Pepsin chewing gum or something that they thought was really great. But I remember the people, and I remember the snowfall, and I don't remember anything I got. So there's a moral lesson in there somewhere.
And I think because you were in Chicago, that's where you grew up. And you get to see snow at Christmas time, which of course we don't get to see here, which is unique.
Well, we did get to see it once back when I was a kid in Los Angeles, and we got an inch of snow, and the houses weren't built for it, so we had houses caving in from the 1 inch of snow down in Orange County. I remember that. So, but yeah, it was much more of a Dickensian world, in Little Skokie, Illinois, than it is in Los Angeles. Although, I'm sure Dickens would have appreciated the palm trees and the smog, and the traffic, of course.
Well, and you talk about family. I mean, the holidays being all about family, and you're going to be doing the show through Christmas, and you're with your family here on stage, which is nice.
It is nice. My family lives in Texas. They'll be coming to Arizona, where most of the other family is.
Okay.
And I'll be here.
Right.
So it will be different. I don't think I've ever done a show on Christmas like this. I spent a year in Korea recently doing shows, and of course we worked there learning who Santa is and getting used to Christmas, so that's kind of fascinating. So we worked on Christmas there, but it's because that's a whole new idea for them to see a guy dressed up like Santa Claus. Yeah. That's all new to them. So.
Well, that's just the helpers. That's just Santa's helpers that are down here helping out. Well, he's at the North Pole, of course. So.
Absolutely, and I'm glad I can be here for that.
That's great. It's interesting because we talk about the family and how important it is to be with your loved ones during Christmas. Does this production kind of get you in the holiday spirit?
Well, it gets, given the fact that my task is to do the penny pinching Scrooge, I guess that's a form of holiday spirit, but no, it does, and it's a very emotional show.
Yes.
I mean, even though we're singing about snow falling, it was at rehearsal, and I could really feel the snowfall with little things like that. So it's a little bit like looking at a Fabergé egg with the all the little snowy things going on in there. No, it's a very emotional kind of thing. And playing Scrooge, you also have to play him later on. I don't want to give away the plot.
Yeah, don't tell us everything.
Won't tell you everything. So you have to play him in several different versions, several different forms of his soul.
Child, for God's sake, shut up and let me pass.
Yeah, any Christmas songs, Christmas music that's a favorite for you?
Well, yeah. Home Alone soundtrack is beautiful.
Of course.
Somewhere in my memory, something.
Very nice.
I love that. That's a good Christmas memory in that music. And this music in this show will also set that mood. Obviously, music sort of. There's just no boundary to music, and it can touch everybody in a different way. But this music that Alan Menken has written is so beautiful, and I do think once we get the orchestrations and the audience will feel that, and we'll feel it too. Feel what it's basically saying, in addition to the words that we're saying.
Absolutely.
So I've really enjoyed listening to the music and hearing that.
Yeah, and how about for you? Any particular songs or?
Oh gosh. Most of them right now are out of my head because we're learning these, which are, I think, going to be new classics. Judy Garland would probably have gone to town on some of these songs had she been around.
How much fun are they to sing?
They're fun, they're exuberant, and they're also trickily intricate. Obviously, we're going to have trouble with it. So they have a kind of a Sondheim-esque delicacy to them that you have to really be very careful with. But it's beautiful. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff.
When you do shows and you have to learn new numbers, does it take you a long time to learn them, or is it something that just kind of comes together very quickly because it has to?
Well, this show is different than any other musical I've ever been in. It is more like an operetta where it's mostly sung, and there are very few just scenes where people just talk for very long.
Right.
So really there aren't solos. You don't have a couple scenes and then a whole new world and they're flying on a carpet and then they come back and talk for 10 minutes and then another song. It's just little tidbits of singing here and there, and then it switches, and because it's like a movie on stage, so it just flows differently like that. It's extraordinary.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you back, Richard, after 20 years. I think it's time you got back to the Norris Theater.
Yes, and I'm proud to be here, as they say.
Very good. And Jason, we're going to see you next month in No Sex Please here. Is that right?
No Sex Please. We're British.
That's it.
A British farce. There'll be a lot of falling, hopefully a lot of slamming doors, and as much as I can fall, I will just fall all over the place.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And we will be here to watch him fall. Thank you, gentlemen, and happy holidays. That will do it for today's show. Remember, A Christmas Carol will be seen right here at the Norris, running December 18th through the 27th. For more information, you can go to norristheater.org. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in the new year.